Good morning, y'all. My name is Kayla, and welcome to my cozy, chaotic corner of the internet. In today's video, why did I laugh there? That was weird. In today's video, we are bringing back Bingo TBR. Let's get rolling. If you are new here and you have no idea what Bingo TBR is, it is a series I did a lot last year where I would build my TBR based on a game of bingo. I haven't done it for quite some time. I think November, October, one of those months. Sometime at the end of 2024 was the last time I did Bingo TBR, and we're bringing it back. I wanted to bring it back. I wanted a redo, actually, of my last Bingo TBR. If you don't know what my last Bingo TBR was, I based it on Booktubers. And if that doesn't make sense, it will in a second. We have this gorgeous bingo card right here. What this card does is it has prompts. So it's going to be a 5-star read of theirs, a book mentioned in their most recent video, and TBR pickle jar. Now, TBR pickle jar, this handy little fella right here, is my personal collection of books that I haven't read yet. So they're all hanging out in here right now. This hasn't been updated in a while, so it's kind of nice. These are all like my older books that have been sitting on my shelves collecting dust. And then the other two prompts I will then pull from my gorgeous little yarn bowl here, a selection of elite booktubers. These are actually all the booktubers that I researched from for my best of 2024 video. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and check it out after you're done watching this video. Of course, it'll also be linked down below for your ease of access. In the past, I've had some crazy rules. No rules. This is just building out a TBR for spring. I didn't clarify, this is my spring TBR. So for the months of April and May. And with all of that noted, let's get the balls rolling. G48. We have our TBR pickle jar pick, y'all. Let's first and foremost shake this up and see what we get. Okay, we have, I literally was just thinking about this book recently. I've been seeing so many, I think like the new season of You is coming out, and I think that's why I've been seeing a lot of stuff just floating around for it. We do have this gorgeous edition of You by Carolyn Kemps. And if you don't know what You is about, it's pretty much about this bookseller. His name is Joe, and he has a fascination with a woman who comes into his bookstore. But that fascination gets a little creepy, a little stalkery. Oh, and by the way, he might be killing people who are involved in her life. Oh, 74. A book featured in their most recent video. I feel like there's too many slips of paper in this tiny bowl. Okay. We have Darling Desi. So let's see what her most recent video is. I made my dream birthday cake. I don't think she mentioned any books in here. And then her next video after that was best books of 2024. So we're just gonna go off of that one. She actually had a lot of best of 2024 books that I wanted to try. So I'm just gonna scrub through this real quick to see which one I want to add to this TBR. Ooh, that might be good. That also might be good. Ruthless Vows popped up and Magnolia Parks popped up, and both I own, and both I have to continue on with the series. I know she talked about Heartless Hunter as well in this video. It's either gonna be Ruthless Vows or the second Magnolia Parks book. I think I'm gonna do Magnolia Parks. So if you don't know what Magnolia Parks is about, Magnolia Parks and this man in her life, BJ, have been on again, off again for quite some time now. And this on again, off again situation has kind of reached its peak of like, we have to figure shit out or like this has to end, point blank period. They think they have it all figured out until some drama drops. And it is
So ridiculous. It's giving Gossip Girl, but instead of New York, it's London. As problematic and toxic as BJ and Magnolia Parks are, I actually really enjoyed book 1. So I am intrigued to delve into book 2 of Magnolia Parks. I-22, a 5-star read of theirs. I've discovered that doing this, they pop up too much. They pop out too much. Okay. A 5-star read for Liv's Library. Okay, I'm gonna go check out her reading trackers, whether it's Goodreads, Fable, Storygraph, whatever. One of Liv's 5-star reads was The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This is actually a book that I was planning on reading anyways this year. If you watch my 25 and 2025, The Hunger Games trilogy was one of those books. It also happens that everyone and their mother is rereading The Hunger Games this year, which makes sense because Sunrise on the Reaping just came out. I'm very excited to read this book. It actually is a book that was kind of a big part of my late teens, so I'm very excited to delve back into this bad boy. N38, a book that was on their most recent video. We'll go with the first one that dropped out. This dropped out of the thing. And we have, who do we have? Is this right side up? Ian Ghibli. I think that's how you say his last name. When I was doing my best of 2024 was the first time I actually sat down and watched one of his videos. And he is such like a riot, like such good times. And also on his best of 2024 video, I believe was Recursion, which was also on my best of 2024 list. So I was like, okay, the vibes are vibing. So let's go to Ian's most recent video. So his most recent video is, I attempted to build my wife her dream home library with my bare hands. Usually in like videos that aren't like a dedicated review or reading vlog or something like that, I usually will just pick a book that pops up on the screen that seems interesting, but I don't know if I want to really scrub that hard through this, so we might go to the next one. I think I'm gonna go to his next video, and his next video is, I read strangers' book recommendations and I regret it. This might be a bad idea. It's I Who Have Never Known Men. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's really gonna be my cup of tea, but it's a shorter book, so I do want to give it a chance. So perfect. Now, if you don't know what I Who Have Never Known Men is about, it is a book about a group of women who have pretty much been encaged in this underground encampment for quite some time. The youngest girl in this group, I think of 40 women, has never known anything outside of this enclosure. Everyone else has experienced the real world at some point in their life. I'm not gonna say anything further than that. I do know additionally what happens, but I hear like the less you know about this book, the better it is. So we're just gonna leave it at that. I Who Have Never Known Men. Thank you, Ian. N31, a 5-star read for Maddie Reads 6. This is a book that I've kind of been putting off reading, mostly because its predecessor put me in a slight reading slump, and not because it was bad. It was actually super good. I've had hesitation about starting up Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I do want to read it. I don't know why. I'm just like, ugh, I don't know if I want to read it. I don't know. It's a very strange feeling. I feel conflicted, but I think this is as good a time as any to delve into this bad boy. B15 with the TBR pickle jar pick. See what the odds are. The odds are in our favor. Hunger Games is not in this, by the way. Ooh, this is one I've actually owned for a while. I'm intrigued to delve into this one. That's Airframe by Michael Crichton. And if you don't know who Michael Crichton is, are you living under a rock? Michael Crichton is actually the author of Jurassic Park. And I actually own quite a few of his books. I think one of my local free little libraries had like just a selection of his works, and for some reason I like picked them all up. So Airframe, I had a phase where I decided I wanted just naked books, and I got rid of a bunch of dust jackets. And unfortunately, Airframe was one of the victims of my de-dust jacketing. I actually don't know what this book is about. I literally picked it up because it was by Michael Crichton. The funny thing is I've never even read Jurassic Park, so that's that on that. So I guess we will see what Airframe has to offer. B9. We are back in the TBR pickle jar. We have The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. I'm not gonna lie, I actually started this book and it was, I think I got a chapter or two in. I wasn't really liking it, but I think this will be a good test, like actually giving it a whirl and seeing if we're gonna keep it on the shelves, because I wasn't really vibing with it, but I'll be honest, I wasn't really putting my all into it either. B8, we have, okay, pink popped out, so we're gonna do pink. The colors mean nothing, it was just the paper in my printer at the time of printing. We have UTC Book Blog. Let's see who this is. That's like the one thing about people's handles is 9 times out of 10 it's never gonna be their name. So it's like, who are you? Under the Covers blog. Ew, let's see. Their most, oh my god. Their most recent video is, which brooding Highland hero would you choose? So I guess we're gonna be reading a Highland story. We have one that has feuding families, so Romeo and Juliet-esque style. We have the angsty, brooding Highlander, and then we have a steamy romance. Like, just right off the rip, I want to read all of them. This is such a bizarre twist for books. So we're gonna do Lindsay Sands' Devil of the Highlands. This dude, apparently he's like a big macho man and has no interest in marriage or having a wife. He does end up in an arranged marriage, and you know, he starts to realize that he may or may not like this woman because she refuses to stand down to him. Like, she has a personality, and a strong personality at that. Didn't think I would be reading Highlander romance, but here we are. G60 with the TBR pickle jar. This is one of my chicken scratch ones. Ooh, Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I actually had a coworker recommend this. First off, I had it from Book of the Month, and I think after having this for like a month or so, I had a coworker tell me that this one was really good. I just haven't gotten to it. N43, a 5-star read for Ex Libris Carrie. So it turns out that Carrie reads a lot of manga, which I love. And one of the manga books that she had read was a book that I actually own. And I have been wanting to get back into the series, but read the book. Volume 2 of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. I'm excited to delve into the contents of Sailor Moon. And this was another huge part of my childhood. So I feel like this Spring TBR is just like revisiting my youth. B2, a book featured in their most recent video. No one. We have, oh no. I literally just watched her most recent video, which is a book unhaul. Okay, but there were actually a lot of good books in Sydney's book unhaul. So let's see. We'll see what we're cooking with. Okay, this is actually a book that I was looking at getting myself. So she unhauled Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, and that is a book that I have wanted to read for quite some time now because I absolutely loved the movie. And I know that the book and movie aren't like one for one, but I do want to give Practical Magic a whirl. So we will be reading Practical Magic.
I-18 with the TBR pickle jar pick. We have, ooh, we'll see. We have Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer. In April 1992, a young man from a well-to-do family hitchhiked to Alaska and walked alone into the wilderness north of Mount McKinley. His name was Christopher. He had given $25,000 in savings to charity, abandoned his car and most of his possessions, burned all the cash in his wallet, and invented a new life for himself. It's a movie. Haven't seen the movie yet, so maybe I can read this and then watch the movie. But I've heard a lot of people say it's really good, and I bought this actually at a garage sale, and the woman at the garage sale was like ranting and raving about it. She's like, oh my god, that's so good. Have you seen the movie? And I was like, nope. Like, this is gonna be a brand new experience for me. So Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer. G58, a 5-star read for, I don't know what I'm doing anymore, guys. We have 2. Okay. I'm just I like decision fatigue. I was like, I can't pick one. Okay, please just one. Okay, we have just one. Oh, okay. For Nathan's Nook. This will be interesting because Nathan reads a lot of literary fiction, and I don't read literary fiction really ever. So, yeah. We'll see what Nathan has on his list. One of Nathan's 5-star reads, and honestly the one I actually recognized from all the books they've read, is The Phantom Toll Booth by Norton Juster. This is a book that fell victim to Kayla getting rid of dust jackets. He may be missing a dust jacket, but the contents are still the same. This is actually a book that I read in my elementary years. I also had seen the movie, loved both of them, but to be so totally for real with y'all, I don't remember jack piddly squat about them. I just kind of have like these vivid pictures of like the illustration and the movie in my head, but I don't really know anything about the storyline. So I couldn't even give you a synopsis if I wanted to. I just remember that this was part of my childhood. So I'm excited to delve into The Phantom Toll Booth. Oh, 62. We have, things just keep popping out. We'll go with this one. We have Alexa Ray. I know she typically reads more romance-oriented books. Her most recent video is swapping my phone screen time with reading for a week. Let's see what she read in lieu of being on her phone. We might go the route of me picking a book based off of it just popping up on the screen and not necessarily being a book that they read, because The Cruel Prince just popped up, and that is a series that I own and I have been wanting to delve into. I just haven't gotten around to it, so this might be a good opportunity for me to delve into it. I'm gonna do The Cruel Prince. We're gonna do The Cruel Prince because it literally just popped up on a screen as a descriptor of another book she's reading. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't 100% know what The Cruel Prince is about. I know it's about fairies, I know it's about the fae. So I kind of went on like a crazy shopping spree when I realized that Holly Black is still an active writer, because I just remember loving Tithe so much as a kid. So I was like, I need to get Cruel Prince. G50, a book featured in their most recent video. I'm gonna grab this orange one because I haven't had an orange one yet. Again, the colors mean nothing, but so far it's only been pink and red pulled. Murphy Napier Reviews. And if you don't know who Murphy is, she does predominantly fantasy reads. So that's fun. I think more like
high epic fantasies, which is a genre I don't typically delve into. And her most recent video was These Books Need More Love, Hidden Gems. Perfect! This likely means though that I won't know what any of these books are. Someone made a comment about Sphere and said, honestly, one of my favorite books. I probably first read it too young. It gave me nightmares and I had to put it down for a little while. I don't know, that comment alone just was the nail in the coffin. We'll go with Sphere by Michael Crichton. Do I know what it's about? Not a damn clue. I-23, a book featured in their most recent video. We're gonna do, who is this? The Naughty Librarian. Oh my god, y'all. She was a hoot and a half for the video I watched for my Best of Booktubes video. So let's see what she's been up to since then. Her most recent video is my first massive book haul of 2025. None of these. Ooh, Joyland by Stephen King. I was actually looking at getting this because it's like the cutest stinking cover ever. This might be a perfect one. She got The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and I started The God of the Woods sometime last year. I did set it down. It wasn't like an intentional DNF, but I just like set it down and didn't return to it. And I was like intrigued with where it was going, but it is a slow read. I mean, I'm not super excited about reading The God of the Woods, but I think this is a good reason for me to read The God of the Woods and figure out, like, do I actually like this book? Do I actually want this book? So I think, yeah, The God of the Woods, brought to us by the Naughty Librarian. And if you don't know what The God of the Woods is about, it is about a young girl whose family owns a summer camp. And one day this young girl goes missing. But what you need to know is that her brother, many years earlier, also unexpectedly went missing and was never found. Now her family is super duper wealthy. They are like the wealthy family that pretty much runs everything in the town, but everyone else is like blue collar working folks. And there's definitely tension between this family and the residents of the town. So yeah, that tension comes out while everyone is searching for this young girl who goes missing. B6 with the TBR pickle jar pick, we have we have Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling. From my understanding, well, I have read a book by Katie Roberts. She writes some smutty smut books. I would say on the verge of erotica. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, Neon Gods. Okay. You know what? The one nice thing about like smut, for me at least, is I feel like I get through it pretty quickly. So I'm not going to be spending forever reading this book. It's just going to be a quick little done. Well, y'all, we have quite the stack of books to read, but thankfully, unlike Bingo TBR in the past, when it was for 1 month, 17 books over the time span of 2 months actually isn't that daunting for me, personally. But with that noted, let's go through all the books that we have selected for April and May with the help of not only the bingo card, our TBR pickle jar, but most importantly, the amazing Booktube community. We have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine, Devil of the Highlands by Lindsay Sands, Neon Gods by Katie Robert, Into the Wild by John Krakauer, Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth, Sphere by Michael Crichton, Airframe
by Michael Kirchen, You by Carolyn Kemps, I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Volume 2 by Nako Takuchi, The Phantom Toll Booth by Norton Juster, Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and last but certainly not least, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Well, y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your reading plans for springtime? I feel like this is such a wide array of books that it's going to be an interesting few reading months. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, what are your plans for the next few reads? Do you guys make TBRs? Sometimes I really like having a TBR, but then sometimes I also am just a mood reader and don't want to be held down by anything. But I've been mood reading for a while now, so it's kind of nice to have a little bit more structure to my reading. Thank you guys again so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.